in Uganda. My guest is seated, but before I get into the conversation with her, usually I like us to have some fun facts about the countries we're exploring. So one of the fun facts you need to know about Uganda is that it is a landlocked country situated in the eastern part of Africa, where the western rainforest meets with the East Africa savanna plains. And the country, of course, is characterized with lakes, mountains, scenic landscapes, waterfalls, diverse cultures, birds, crystal lakes, snow-capped mountains, wildlife, and so much more. Snow-capped mountains. Just think about that. Listen, when it comes to where Uganda is being ranked, well, it was ranked 13th as one of the most beautiful countries on earth. And this ranking was made by the bus, okay? So they were placed at number 13, most beautiful country on earth. And the name Uganda was derived from the British form Swahili word to mean land of the Uganda people. So the name was given during the 1900s by the Buganda Agreement. They can boast of the world's strongest waterfall located in Murchison Falls National Park in the northern part of the country. Uganda experiences tropical climate, having only 2 seasons, the wet, of course, and the dry season. 8% of the world's mammal species did I say spices? I mean species. 8% of the world's mammal species, not spices, can be found in Uganda. And it's said that over 30 indigenous languages are spoken in Uganda. If you're looking for some of the friendliest people in Africa, Uganda is one of the places you can find them. But for those of us who love to eat banana, well, Uganda is the second largest banana producing country in the world. We can go on and on and on about the fun facts about Uganda, but let me leave that for my guest who is in the studio with me this afternoon. Christa, welcome to Beats Africa.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have you. How do you say welcome? In which language do you speak?
Luganda.
Luganda. So you speak Luganda. So how do you say welcome in Luganda?
Tukwaniliza.
Tukwaniliza. So when I see you, I say, "Oh, Christa, tukwaniliza." Yes. And how do you respond?
The answer is like thank you.
The answer is, how do you say the thank you?
Thank you is neanziza.
Neanziza. So, now I've forgotten. You see, when you taught me the first one, now I've forgotten to remember the second one. So, welcome again is
tukwaniliza.
Tukwaniliza. And then I say, thank you.
Neanziza.
Neanziza. Well, so welcome to Ghana. Tukwaniliza Ghana.
Neanziza.
Tukwaniliza Beats Africa.
Neanziza.
Tukwaniliza 3FM.
Neanziza.
Good. So tell us about I was just reading some of the fun facts of your country, Uganda. Ranked 13th most beautiful country in the world by the Buzz. I'm told that if you're looking for primates, all of them can be found in Uganda. When it comes to species, I love to watch, National Geography because I love animals. So I'm told that all the rainforests, gorillas, chimpanzees and everything can be found in Uganda. But what again makes Uganda a very special country? What fact about Uganda do people don't even know?
Uganda is called the Pearl of Africa.
It's called what?
The Pearl of Africa.
The Pearl of Africa?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's a name we gave ourselves because of the location.
Okay.
And the beautiful sceneries that we have. We have a variety of them. We have the mountains, we have the waterfalls, we have the game parks. There's so many things. So we given ourselves the name the Pearl of Africa.
Pearl of Africa.
Yes.
And that is the name that the people of Uganda have given to the country.
Yes, when you mention Uganda, it is Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
So when you mention Uganda, you say the Pearl of Africa.
Yes. Or you can tell people I'm going to the Pearl of Africa, they'll know it is.
And they know it is Uganda. I mean, you sound very proud of that.
Of course. I'm proud Uganda.
Yeah, proud Ugandan. But tell me, what brings you to Ghana and how long have you been in Ghana for?
Okay, so on the 21st of this month, I'll be making my 3 months.
3 months?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
So I'm a girl guide from Uganda.
Okay.
Yes. So I came to do my exchange program with Ghana Girl Guides.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So when you came in, this is your 3rd month. 21st of this month will be 3 months for you since you came to Ghana. What has been the highlight so far in your 3 months visit? Let me start from when you first came to Ghana. Obviously, it's an English-speaking country, so it was easy for you to communicate. But what was that first cultural shock when you came to Ghana? Food. How? That's the first thing that shocked you was food.
How you prepare the food, the spices, the pepper is too much.
The pepper is too much?
Yes.
Oh, but you have come to West Africa. This is the way you were calling Uganda Pearl of Uganda. We call Ghana is what? Pearl of spices. The pepper hub. When you come to Ghana, Ghana is the pepper hub. But so that was the only cultural shock.
There are quite a number of them, but the food was...
What stood out for you?
Yes.
What was the other one? I want to know. I'm curious. Now my listeners also want to know.
The other one was how you guys bury your people, like the burial ceremony. It looks like you're happy about it.
This girl has killed me. We look like we're happy at the funeral.
Not really, but the celebrations, the time you take to bury someone.
How is that done in Uganda? How are funerals like in Uganda?
In Uganda, when you die today, tomorrow they bury you.
Hey, just like that.
We are like Muslims, almost. It depends on the family, though. Sometimes, okay, like for example, you have your children abroad. They can take time waiting for them, but usually it doesn't take more than a week.
It doesn't take more than a week to bury. And that has been the culture.
Yeah, that's the culture. Mostly in the central
part of Uganda. So you mean that it can vary in other parts? Not really?
Not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
But you said it's like we are quote unquote happy burying them. Well, how is yours done? Like, do you look very sad, solemn?
Yeah, we cry.
But we cry.
But how do you cry when you're carrying the coffin down?
And we are dancing. You don't dance with the... Okay.
And then recently I saw something on Twitter and that put the person in the saucepan.
In a what?
Saucepan.
It's a saucepan casket. Maybe it could represent that person like cooking, was a chef. Sometimes it happens like that. You both don't do that?
No.
It's just a plain casket. Sometimes here in Ghana, what we do is that depending on maybe the person's profession, sometimes some musicians, they might be buried in a microphone, Why? Oh, is it a microphone that you're laughing? Oh, Charlie, they should not start crying, they get the laughing. Christa is laughing at me here. Why? Is the microphone, why?
So if a person sells shoes, you put a shoe?
Depending on what the person wants. Sometimes when you take a trip to outside of Accra, even here in Accra, some carpenters, people who go about designing caskets do that, because sometimes it can be specific. The person might say, oh, I want to be buried in like a car casket. I think we've seen quite a number, like a car, microphone, canoe, cocoa casket. Yes, and the person was a farmer, I'm sure. And maybe the person loved chocolate, I'm sure. And the person said, let me represent that even in the land of the dead.
Okay, so how you bury people is a representation of what they've been doing?
Well, sometimes, not all the time. I mean, mostly people just get, the caskets and then they do the burial. But it's not an extreme case. It's not generalized. There are some people who would prefer to be in that. Yes. But in Uganda, it doesn't exist like that.
No.
Do you do colors like the way we do? You know, here when we are burying, we are in black or brown or red. Sometimes a mix of the black and red. What are the colors that you use in Uganda when you're having?
Think it's black, but it is not as much as it is done here. As we don't even decorate the houses, how you mourn a person, or like you decorate the whole house. No.
Come closer to your mic, because now our listeners want to hear how you say we don't decorate our mic. Hey, you say we don't decorate our...
So we don't decorate our houses.
Okay.
Like, I've seen some houses that are decorated like outside, red and black.
Yes.
No, we don't do that.
You don't do that.
Okay, so when a person dies, where I come from, the central, like I said, me, I'm a Muganda.
You are Muganda by tribe. Okay.
So maybe you can open the door, like the main gate. People come, they'll be with you, but there's no decoration.
There's no decoration.
But you can wear black, not usually black, but it is not a must.
It's not a must. Interesting. So for you, when you see the way people go about, decorating the burial grounds or their houses, it's strange to you. It's new to you.
It is something very new to me.
It's something very new to you. Is it something that you think might be considered one day in Uganda? Not really.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Interesting. It's good that you're bringing that up. But when we also do have like obituaries. You have obituaries like posters.
Yes.
We also do like billboards kind of. Do you do?
No.
So for you,
okay, so you can and you can take on a radio station and they'll announce for you announcement and that. But this business of putting behind the car, on the gate.
No, it's something you not see in Uganda.
I've not seen it.
So when you came and you saw how we do it in Ghana, it was quite intriguing for you.
And I had to ask the person, why do you have this poster on your gate? And the person was like, the person we are mourning, she died. I was like, oh, okay.
So if it was, but if it wasn't for that, you see, that's how come you got to know that somebody had passed. My guest in the studio today, Christa, is a Lamunu, right? Nalumu. Okay, interesting. What does your surname mean?
It does. In my tribe, it's a name that represents your totem or where you come from.
Okay.
So the Nalumus, the Lumus, the Sentumbwes, the Nantumbwes, we all come from a certain tribe.
You come from a certain tribe.
So my totem is the sheep. So me, I don't eat sheep.
You don't eat sheep? Because
my totem.
Your tribe is against that. So you don't eat sheep. Wow. So and you mentioned that, so your name, and you gave other examples. Say where you come from. And all of you, your totem is the sheep?
Yes. So the moment you mention the name Nalumu, they know this one is from the Ndiga clan. It's the Ndiga clan. The moment you mention some other name, they know this one is from maybe the grasshopper. From the cow. Like that. So what your totem is, you don't eat.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so there are people who are from the grasshopper clan.
Yes.
And there's some people who are from the cow
clan.
Okay, chicken clan.
No,
there's no chicken. Okay, I just wanted to be sure. These are very important questions I'm asking. I don't know why DJ Abian was laughing. Maybe he will be from the chicken clan. Who knows? But tell me about your tribe. How many tribes, or if you know, how many tribes do you have in Uganda? And which one is more common to be seen?
There are about 56 tribes.
56?
Yes.
So it's true that you people speak over 30 indigenous languages?
There's so many languages in Uganda, but the most dominating language is Luganda, because it's for the people in the central.
Okay.
And the fact that the capital city is in the central, so most people in the central speak Luganda.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But you have over 56 tribes in Uganda. Yes. And all these tribes, as you're saying, are represented by something. And whatever they're represented by, it's more of like forbidden to them.
No. You didn't get me well. My tribe,
your tribe,
the Baganda.
Yes.
That's what represents us, the animals.
The animal, yes.
But then the other people are represented by their staple foods.
Okay.
Yes.
So even if they are represented by staple foods, do they eat that food, or it's forbidden for them?
They eat it. You know, staple food is a food that comes from the region you come from.
Yes.
So if my region is matoke, the banana.
Oh, yours is the matoke?
Yes.
The banana?
Yes.
Okay.
Our staple food is matoke.
Okay.
And we have a special way we prepare it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We don't eat food how you eat here. Like you put food, fufu, chicken.
No. When we get to the food part, you eat it in bits.
No, like it is separate.
Oh, separated. So the soup is not put on the fufu, for instance. So there's a bowl of soup and then there's fufu. That's how you eat it.
More especially when you're serving a Muganda man.
A Muganda man. Why more especially when you're serving a Muganda? Respect. You separate
the food
to show respect.
It's part of the respect. Because they'll tell you me
you can eat together. Interesting. I'm learning so much about Uganda. So you had a cultural shock when it came to the food and how it's been made. Then you had cultural shock with how the burial services are being done in the country. What else was a shock for you?
So far, nothing much. It was about the food and the burial. Maybe I'm here to experience more.
But have you been to a Ghanaian wedding before?
Yes.
Is it the same? Is it similar to how Ugandan weddings are done?
Okay, so I've been to the white wedding. I did attend the cultural wedding.
Okay.
So maybe there we can differentiate, but.
Have you seen pictures or videos of how cultural weddings are being done in Ghana, where, for instance, there's a long trail for both the bride and the groom? For instance, the groom has to come with all the lists that were given to him for dowry, and is being carried on a pan as they make entrance into the house. They say ago, which is meaning we are knocking. You know, is that something that is done in Uganda?
Yes, it's there. It's not like it's almost the same, but it's a little bit different.
What makes it different?
So for us, we start with a kuchala. The very first ceremony when the man is coming to your home. It is called kuchala.
Kuchala. Okay.
So the man and a few people of his, they come to your parents' house. In the Uganda setting, they're supposed to sit inside the house.
Okay.
So they're supposed to talk to your daddy's sister, that is your auntie.
Okay.
And they tell you the date they'll come on the introduction.
Okay.
So that whole setting is done inside the house, and it is not too much. It's actually a private ceremony.
Okay.
So after that, that's when you can do the introduction.
Interesting. So let's talk about the transport system. You are with Girls Guide. Of course, even Girls Guide, the movement is quite different from what you see here in Ghana, is it?
It's the same thing, though what you call a taxi in my country is different. It's almost like a trotro.
In your country, the taxi is trotro. Almost
big like a trotro.
Okay.
So the taxis are bigger than the trotro. Oh, no, I mean the taxis are bigger than the taxis here.
Okay.
But here the taxis are like Ubers.
Yeah, they are small.
They are very small.
Okay, so like a taxi in Uganda can take how many passengers?
It takes 14 passengers. 14.
Taxi?
Yes.
Hey.
It's big like a trotro.
The taxi, which is big like a trotro, can take 14 passengers. Then a trotro can take how many?
I don't know how many people sit in a trotro.
How do you call taxi in Uganda?
Taxi.
You call it taxi. You don't have any. And then trotro, what we refer to trotro, how do you call it? The local buses?
There are those government buses.
Okay.
Called, they have different names.
They have different names? They've all lumped up in your head. But how do you see the transport system between Ghana and Uganda? Is there any similarities, or you think there's a vast difference?
It's the same.
It's the same. So you have, for instance, but this one that it takes 14, the taxi taking 14 people. That means that they do what they call the loading then.
No, the taxi is big like a trotro. Even I think in a trotro, 14 people can fit. So the other one, it is special. Maybe you can call it special hire or Uber or something like that. That one can take like 4 people, like these normal taxis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. But the usual ones take 14 passengers, and then you all stand and then you wait for it to, wherever you get to. Let's look at like the distances and the charges. Is it the same? So for instance, if you are coming from, let's say, Legon, for instance, here to Uganda, a taxi, which maybe can be rented in a way, can charge you like, let's say, 25 Ghana cedis for that distance. Is it the same for Uganda, or you people have a fixed price that you go by? How is it like?
So for the taxis, there's a fixed price, like from here up to Legon. There's a fixed price for that place.
Okay.
It doesn't change.
It doesn't change. Yes. Okay. So it's not like something that you negotiate. You just know
the price is that. Unless maybe the fuel prices are too high and have increased. That's when you negotiate with a conductor. You call him mate.
Hey.
As we call him conductor.
The taxi in Uganda has a conductor. Wow. Hey. Today's show is going to be an eye-opener. Listen, I've learned so many things already into the show. The time check is 46 minutes after 3. This is Beats Africa right on 3FM 92.7. We are live on Facebook as well. Butana Hafomim Zongo says we are watching you live right inside Ahafomim Zongo, loud and clear. We have some of the messages coming through. This one is coming from Kojo Asempa Furniture Works. He says, good afternoon to your listeners from Kojo Asempa Furniture Works here in Edum Kumasi. Ellen Namfoli says, their taxi is our trotro. Our taxi is their special hire, which is actually Uber here in Ghana. Kwame Ofreamanfo says, the more you know. It's an eye-opener conversation we are having in the studio today with Christa. We are talking Uganda. Keep your comments coming through live on our Facebook page. Don't forget to also like and share.
Your urban lifestyle radio.
In Uganda, they use the Ugandan shilling. I've been trying to do some conversion here, but since Christa is in the studio with me, I'll allow her to do that with me. So let's say you want to convert 1,000 Ghana cedis to Ugandan shillings. How much are we looking at? She's making the conversion for us. I hope it's not plenty money in your shillings. It's like...
Actually, your money is better.
Your money?
Your money.
Our money?
Yes.
Our Ghana cedi is stronger than the Ugandan shilling?
So much.
Why do you say that?
Because when you have 1,000 cedis, you get 323 Almost 330. Okay, 325.
Ugandan shilling. Oh, 300. Like 1, 2, 3 peppers. If you give me 100, it's 3 notes.
No.
Wait, explain the thing.
As we have notes 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000.
20,000. You have 20,000 notes.
Yes.
And then you have 50,000
I have
notes.
50,000 notes. So that's the biggest.
That's the biggest, okay.
Yes. But your 200 CDs is almost like 60,000. So that means...
Our 200 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
It's almost 60,000.
Yes.
That is your biggest notes plus 10,000. Our 200 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
It's 60,000 Ugandan shilling.
Yes.
Oh, so the 1,000 is 330,000.
Yes.
Oh, then I can buy a house in Uganda.
There is no way.
Hey, say there's no way. So what can I buy with the 330,000 shillings in Uganda?
What can you buy? What can you buy? It depends on now you as a person, your taste.
Okay.
But you can also get a small phone.
A small what?
A smartphone,
as much fun as I want. But 60,000 Ugandan shillings equals to 200 Ghana cedis.
Yeah, it's 200 Ghana cedis.
So what can that 60,000 get me? If I come to Uganda and I'm having, 200 Ghana cedis, or maybe I convert 200 Ghana cedis to get 60,000 Ugandan shillings. What am I looking at buying? What am I looking at getting? Is it enough to get me like a perfect, place to rent? Will that be up to a 1 month rent or something?
No, 60. No, 60 is very small money.
It's very small money.
It's like having 200 CDs.
But though you mentioned it is plenty in your country.
Yeah, yes, it is plenty. Because the money doesn't have value.
So 60,000 is not going to get me an apartment. Usually, if you have to pay for like a month apartment, depending on where you are in the central part, how much are we looking at?
What kind
for
of
rent?
apartment?
Yes.
What kind of apartment?
Maybe like a 1-bedroom or...
It goes for 450 Ugandan shilling.
450. So
that's a decent room, really, like a toilet inside. Yeah.
So that's like, let's say, so that would be 450, you say. So that would be close to 2,000 Ghana cedis? Close to 2,000 Ghana cedis for a month.
Yes.
Do you people do the month structure when it comes to rent payment, or you do how we do it here in Ghana? 1 year advance or 2 years advance?
It's 3 months advance.
Yours is 3 months advance. So when you came, have you ever heard of our structure of rent structure, and how do you feel about it?
I feel like they're oppressing you. I feel like they're oppressing you people.
They're oppressing us. Hey, Yehovah.
Because imagine someone is out of school. So they have just started working. Where are they going to get the 1 month rent?
The 1 year rent.
1 year rent.
Right. So in Uganda, it's 3 months upfront.
Yes.
And then after the 3 months, you pay monthly. Interesting. So when you look at, you mentioned that our Ghanaian cedi is stronger than your currency.
True.
So when we look at how cost of living is rising everywhere, everywhere in the world because of some of the global crises we've all experienced, would you say it's more expensive to live in Ghana than in Uganda?
Regarding foods, Ghana is expensive.
Regarding food, Ghana is expensive.
Yes.
Okay.
But normal life, like the clothes, Ghana is cheap.
Ghana is cheap.
Yeah,
okay.
But food is so cheap in Uganda.
Food is very cheap in Uganda.
Very cheap.
Okay.
Like in $1 you can get a full meal.
$1?
Yeah.
Full meal. When you say full meal, explain. Can we get like steak and those things, or
no, I mean the local food.
The local, You say also $1 local food, like though you get wild chick.
You can get matoke and beans.
Which one is matoke?
Hey.
The banana.
Yes.
Hey, you people eat banana and beans.
Yes.
Wow.
But it is not these bananas.
Plantain.
No,
it's not plantain. It's banana. And you fry it or what?
Where I come from, we steam it. We cook steamed matoke.
You steam the matoke and have it with beans. So $1 can get us that. So $1 here in Ghana, let's say, is 13 Ghana cedis. So if we have to convert that to Ugandan shillings, how much are we looking at? So if you have to look at $1 in Ugandan shillings, I'm interested because of course.
It is 3,000 actually.
3,000.
Yeah, 1 to 3,000.
3,000 Ugandan shilling. And
your dollar is 3,700 right now.
Your dollar is 3,700. $1.
Yes.
Go to 3,000. Hey, then the day I go there with 100, when I go there with $1,000, I'm the richest in Uganda.
Yes, you'll be very rich.
I'll be very rich. Eh? I can buy Uganda.
No.
Oh, no,
you can't buy it.
I can't buy. Okay. So please don't think that you have $1,000 and you go and buy Uganda. You can't buy them. But we just did a little bit of the economy. We just got a better understanding of how the cost of living is like. And according to Christa, my guest in the studio, when it comes to food, Ghana is cheaper. Ghana is expensive when it comes to food. Uganda is cheaper. But it's normal when it comes to clothes and all those things. Does it mean that when it comes to clothing, it's expensive in Uganda?
No, the clothes are expensive.
So
but here I've seen you can get clothes for 2 cedis.
Fabric or clothes?
Clothes, normal clothes.
For 2 cedis. I'll follow you. Where are you going to next? Nam is giving me some gist on Facebook. She says that you people love meat, oh. And the most delicious street food is rollers at Ntinda. In fact, this experience for her was a very interesting one. She says 250,000 Ugandan shillings buys more than its equivalent in the Ghana city. So her team was able to buy sheep, goat, pig, 4 turkeys, at their local market for a night. She says Nyama Choma. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, what does that mean? Is it the name of a place or something?
No, it's bruschetta, how do you call it?
It's a bruschetta.
Like that meat on the sticks.
Kebab.
Yeah. The kebab is different.
Kebab is different. Abutrama Yesu.
There is that meat you put on sticks, you put barbecue meat. Something like that. So that is Nyama Choma.
That's Nyama Choma. That's a street food.
Yeah. Then the Rolex, you don't have it. And it would be something very nice
to have in Ghana.
Yeah.
So when you look at, of course, for you, languages was not a barrier in any way because, of course, you're from an English-speaking country into one another. So it was easy for you to integrate, was it? Or did you find any challenges whilst integrated into the system?
I have a problem with your accent.
Okay,
now I'm getting used, but I used to have a problem. Like, someone has to repeat themselves for me to understand.
Why was that the problem?
Because you put twee in English. Someone will say, have you had it? That's how you speak. Have you had it? Please come on.
So it was difficult for you to come on. But now you say it.
But now I'm used.
You used to it. So when you came, when you said they add tree to the English, sometimes we have cases where somebody will be speaking, of course, the English language, and then they'll add a local language to it. You've heard this a couple of times. Have you been able to pick any of the languages?
Yes.
Tree. So you know when they say akwaba in tree, you know what it means.
Yes.
What does it mean?
Welcome.
Okay, and how do you respond?
Medasi.
Medasi means thank you. And then mekwaba. Have you heard that one?
No. Mekwaba.
Yes, mekwaba.
Like I'm welcoming you.
No, I'm going, but I'll be back.
Oh, no.
I shall return. No. That's mekwaba. I shall return. And then what about etiseng?
Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
Is it easy for us also, should we go to Uganda, is it easy for us to be able to pick up your languages?
It would be hard for you, but someone in East Africa, it is very easy because we almost speak the same language. Like in Uganda, we say omuntu to mean a person. Then in Rwanda, they say umuntu.
Yeah?
Umuntu.
Umuntu.
So we all have that in
your languages.
Yes.
Okay. So omuntu means what?
A person.
A person.
Yes.
Okay.
But now I don't know how you call a person here.
Nipa. That is in tree. In tree it is nipa. In Ghana it is gbomo.
So for you, it will be very hard to pick the language.
So for me to be very hard to pick the
language. Just like it was hard for me to pick the language.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. We have more comments coming in. Ken Stanza says, I love to visit Uganda one beautiful day. So one day this person wants to visit Uganda. Just before then, we're talking about the fun facts about, Uganda, what makes Uganda special. We've been able to interact. We've looked at the transport system, economy. What else makes Uganda interesting when it comes to, aside the beauty, let's talk about the culture. Because when I was reading the fun facts, it said that if you're looking for the most friendliest people, some of the friendliest people in the world, they can be found in Uganda. Tell us about that.
I talk about the culture. So I will talk about my culture.
Your culture, where you come from.
Buganda
culture. Okay.
Our tradition wear for the girls, it's called agomesi.
Agomesi.
Yes.
Okay.
And for the man, it's called akanzu.
Akanzu, okay.
And we have our traditional leader. A king is called kabaka.
A king?
King.
Yes, it's called what?
Kabaka.
Kabaka.
Yes.
Okay. In your tribe.
Yes.
Okay.
And we dominate the central part of Uganda, and we are the biggest ethnic group.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
What else about tribe? Our staple food is matoke.
Okay, that's the banana. Okay.
Then we also have how we cook our sauce in banana leaves.
Okay.
It's called luombo.
Luombo.
Yes.
You cook your sauce in banana leaves.
Yeah, you can put meat. You put in a banana leaf. You cover. You put on top of the matoke, you cook. So that is the culture, that is the staple food for Uganda, luombo and matoke.
Luombo and matoke. That is the staple food for your culture. It's quite interesting. So do you people have festivals the way we have, traditional festivals here in Ghana? Like for instance, in the month of August, we're going to have the Homo Festival. Recently, the Ashanti region celebrated the Ujura Festival. Then we have other regions like the Volta region, they celebrate the Hogbachocho, festival. Do you have festivals that are celebrated by these ethnic groups?
Not really. The only festival I've seen is done for Rolex, the Rolex festival.
Okay, what is that about?
So the Rolex is a chapati. A chapati is made out of wheat.
Okay.
And it is salty and very soft.
Okay.
So you add eggs to it.
Mm-hmm.
So some people add meat and others add chicken.
Okay.
But it's the usual. Oh, there is also the a festival for Bachiga. The people come from the west.
Okay.
So they be taking their cultural drink.
Cultural drink.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That one is from the west.
That's from the west.
Yes.
Okay.
There's also another festival for people for Banyarandas who live in Uganda.
Banyarandas.
Yes.
Who
people
live
from Rwanda.
Rwanda.
Who live in Uganda.
Who live in Uganda, and you call them what?
Banyaranda.
Banyaranda. That's quite interesting. Why that name?
Because that is their name. Okay. That is what they call themselves.
Okay.
Banyaranda.
Banyaranda.
Okay. If you're in Rwanda, Amnyaranda is call themselves Umunyarwanda.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So when it's a group, they are Banyarandas.
Abanyarandas.
Abanyaranda.
Interesting.
92.7 3FM. Your urban lifestyle radio.
Poco Kofi Atta says, I'm watching you live from UAE. More vim.
Makarero kansonga ndi mumudu ya kigoma sagala nyombo ubange no sawa ya nyombo bagambe sagala nyombo eno sawa ya kigire wamasembera mulamu basoba
Accra gets busy on this frequency 92.7 3 FM.
mulamu wa kiseera adomusikizuli sana nezinamu mulamu wa kiseera adomusikitamu sana nze sitalosi
And that's right, this is 3FM 92.7. Today we are discussing Uganda on Beats Africa. As I keep saying, this is the only show that talks about Africa like never before. We look at the similarities and differences between Ghana and some of these African countries that our guests do come from. So far, I've learned quite interesting things about the country Uganda. I hope you are also learning a few. Keep your comments coming in on Facebook, of course, and all our other social media platforms. I'll be doing the reading out for you. But Christa is my guest and she's still here in the studio with me. Christa, I've been reading a lot about Uganda. I've never been to Uganda, but I think the first time I heard about Uganda was due to one of the shows, one of these television shows that highlighted Uganda. And I could tell that there were lots and lots of wildlife in Uganda. But what else can you talk in terms of tourism? So, for instance, I decided to take a trip to, Uganda this year. Where are the places that you would definitely recommend for me to go there, and what makes them stunning?
I would recommend you to go to the source of River Nile.
The source of River Nile, yes. Okay.
Because, River Nile is the longest river in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably recommend you that. Then I would tell you to visit Chitagata Hot Springs. Chitagata Hot Spring.
Yes. Okay, so tell us about the Chitagata Hot Springs.
Chitagata Hot Springs, this is a place where water comes from the underground when it is too hot.
Underground when it's too hot?
Yeah, and usually they boil eggs there and you eat it after 15 minutes.
Hey, we can go and boil the egg there.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that, because I'll go with eggs to go and boil.
Yes, I'm telling you the truth. It is there. It is called Chitagata Hot Springs.
So you can boil the egg?
In that water.
Yeah. It's hot water coming from underground?
Yes.
Interesting. And is it hot all year round?
Yes, it's always hot, like from day one to the last day.
It's always hot, so I can boil my egg. Yeah. Okay, interesting. And of course, what else?
Then I'll tell you to go to Uganda Matters. Have you heard about the Uganda Matters?
No, I haven't.
You have a church here called Uganda, like the Matters of Uganda.
Matters of Uganda. IBM, Matters of Uganda.
You haven't seen that church? It's around, I don't know the place, but after Dansoman, as you're coming to that.
Okay.
So there is the Matters of Uganda.
Okay.
Yes.
What makes the church that place special?
So it's a religious place. These guys were killed by one of the king.
Okay.
So they were burnt to ashes by the king because they had refused to follow him.
Okay.
Yes. So I would also tell you that to go and make your faith strong.
Oh, so you go there to make
people go there to pray actually,
and it makes their faith. Is it more of like when people go to Israel, for instance, they want to visit the River Jordan because there's where some significant miracle happened. Somebody want to be baptized in that river. Is it likewise to what you're describing to us?
So actually, people come there to pray, but to see like what actually happened.
Okay.
Because if like today's generation, if you told someone, follow me or follow this one and I'm going to ban you, they'll definitely follow you.
Okay.
So these people are banned because they believed in God.
Okay.
Yeah, so people usually come there to pray. Really
to pray.
Yeah.
How long has it been in existence for?
Oh, it's been so long. Remember.
Is it like 100, 200 years?
No, not that. Not possible.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that time, but it's been there for some time.
Okay. And then what else?
Then I'll tell you to go to Maction Falls.
Maction Falls.
Yes.
Okay.
You talked about Maction Falls earlier.
Yes.
So it's a falls and they're beautiful to watch.
Okay.
Then I'll tell you to go to Chowe Safari.
Okay. That's
one place where Kanye West has been in Uganda.
That's one place that Kanye West has been in Uganda. And then the prices will go up then.
Hey. It's actually expensive. It's very expensive.
It was expensive before he went.
It was expensive, and after he went there,
it has become even more expensive.
Yeah.
Do you people have issues with tourism? For instance, infrastructure. The road network leading to these places. Are they in good states? What is the maintenance culture like when it comes to tourism? Is Uganda even boosting, tourism at all?
Yeah, the tourism sector is very active.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but some places are in the villages, so really, you expect certain things like bad roads, but they're really doing their work.
Okay, really doing the work.
Yeah,
so you say that the fall is expensive.
No, the Chobe Safari.
The Chobe Safari is expensive. When you say expensive, how much were you? Not the Kanye West price. Before the Kanye West price, how much were we looking at? It's expensive.
Yeah, for a normal person, if you're a celebrity, good, you can afford. But for a normal person, it's not so expensive. But if you can, it's affordable now. Let me change the word. It's affordable.
So how much are we looking at? What is the range?
It can go to 1 million. From 1 million, you can really sleep there.
1 million Ugandan shilling.
Yes,
not
Ghanaian, not Ghanaian.
You can sleep there.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you don't have 1 million, you just go and see and come.
You can go and visit and come back.
Okay.
But it is far, really, so you need to relax.
Yeah.
It is not in the central.
It's not in the central. It's which part of Uganda?
Where's Joey? I think it is
Northwest.
Sure.
You're not too sure. But it's a place that, because of the distance, it would be advisable for you to go and relax. And if you want to relax,
see the sunset.
Okay.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Interesting. No, what else?
We have
there are quite a number of places, huh? There are so many places. But do you think that Uganda is being placed well when it comes to tourism on the map? Do you think that people know Uganda for, its touristic attractions?
Yes. Yes. The tourism sector has outdone itself.
Okay.
Surely. Yeah.
Okay. So when you came to Ghana, for instance, of course, before you came, you did a few research. Have you been to any of your tourist sites?
I've been to the beach. There's North Sea. There's a beach here. Is it called North Sea?
Beach. Okay.
North Sea.
North Sea.
Is it called North Sea?
Yeah, I know of Labadi, and I know of Kokrobite and Boju.
I haven't been that time.
Okay. Maybe Mami will know that place. She loves the beach a lot. Yeah. She actually loves going to she actually loves going to the beaches. But then where else have you been in Ghana? You're almost 3 months in Ghana.
I've been to the eastern region.
The eastern region. Tell us about your experience there.
The eastern region, I like it because the weather is the kind of weather I have in Uganda. Accra is too hot.
Accra is too hot. But people have the hot and
it is not as hot as this. You see, eastern region, it is hot, but it's not hot like Accra.
Okay. So
and for us, we have the wet season. It is from March to May.
Okay.
Then we have September and December.
September to December.
September to December and May and March to May.
Okay. So you have more wet season than dry season?
It's even, but even if it is hot, it's not as hot as it is here.
Does it snow in Uganda? Because I read of a snow-capped mountain. So
there is mountain Rwenzori, but it's on top of a mountain.
It's on top of a mountain.
Yeah.
So it doesn't snow in Uganda at all. Not at all. Interesting. That's good for that clarification.
92.7 3FM. Your urban lifestyle radio.
Wanna touch your body.
Going by air, you're going to take maybe 4 hours, 18 minutes to get to Uganda.
Don't come your way. It's good for me. Make me busy. So now everything runs so easy. They got it going.
a Ugandan visa is actually not required for Ghanaians. So you can actually, what did you say?
Even Ugandans are not required a visa.
Yes, even Ugandans are not required visa when you're coming here. So for Ghanaian nationals who want to visit Uganda, you can actually go, visa free for a duration of 90 days. All you need to have is a 6-month valid, passport, of course, to be able to enter Uganda, with 2 blank pages for entry stamps on arrival and, of course, for departure. Quite interesting. When you were coming to Ghana, did you know about all this, that you didn't require a visa? Have you ever done your research about Ghana? Why Ghana?
Why Ghana? I have friends.
Okay.
You people are good people, actually.
Okay.
You're very good people. So I have my friends here.
Okay, thank you.
So I thought I was coming to my second home.
Okay.
Yeah. So I felt so comfortable. Yeah. So and it was, it's a like you speak English, so it was very easy for me.
How did it feel like when you got to know that you didn't even require a visa to come to Ghana? Was that part of your headache? Because I know that's usually the conversations we have when you want to move around, other African countries. Some of them require a visa. The process can be tedious. So when you heard it was visa free, what was your reaction?
It was like icing on top of cake. I was like, let's go. So it made life easier.
Is there a buzz about Ghana in Uganda? And do you think that there's similarly a buzz about Uganda in Ghana?
What do you mean buzz?
So, do people know about Ghana in Uganda? And do people know about Uganda in Ghana from your interactions?
Ghanaians, let me start with Ghanaians. Ghanaians, they don't know so much about Uganda. And Ugandans, they know Nigerian, so they take you as Nigerian. So you're under that umbrella of Nigerian.
Oh.
Actually, someone might think Ghana is part of Nigeria.
Interesting.
Yes.
So Nigerians dominate. Nigeria is like more head in Uganda.
True.
And it's more of like Ghanaians are encompassed in that whole conversation. So it's like we are put in there.
Yeah, you're put under the Nigerians.
You're put under the Nigerians. Interesting. So people might even think that Ghana is in Nigeria.
Someone asked me that question. I was in shock myself. I was angry on your behalf.
You're angry on, yes, you have to be.
Because how could someone tell me is Ghana a province in Nigeria?
How?
Hey!
Province?
Yes, I was so angry. And it was during the time of elections, and I was like, what do you mean?
Is Ghana a province in Nigeria? Interesting. I have some of the comments here, and I'll be reading those comments in a bit. But you've mentioned about some of the places that people can travel to, of course, when they visit Uganda. Now we get to know that it's even visa-free for Ghanaian passport holders. So it means that, of course, if you want to enter the first 90 days, you can do that visa-free. But what should be the expectations for a Ghanaian that goes to Uganda? I mean, you've come in here, you've shared your culture shocks with us. One being the food, the other being the burial. What do you think our culture shocks is going to be like? And will it be easy for us to integrate in Uganda?
Also, it will be easy for you because we speak English.
Yes.
And just like you guys here, the people in the market will understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Even though they might not be able to respond, but they'll understand what you're saying. So it will be the same thing in Uganda. Then the food.
Okay.
Yes, the food. I have a Ghanaian friend who went to Tanzania because they don't put a lot of pepper in their food. So he said the food was not tasty. So it's the same thing you're going to experience. The food will not be like that for you. It will not be tasty for you because there's not too much pepper in it. So actually, the food is plain.
Your food is plain.
Like there is no pepper at all.
Not at all. Not even on the side for me to decide to.
Okay, on the side you can put.
Okay.
But in the food, it is plain food.
It is plain food. And was that a struggle for you when you came starting to eat?
Every time when I order for food, I like fufu so much.
Oh, you do? That's your favorite Ghanaian food?
Yes.
Which soup?
Light soup.
Allah. Which meat?
Goat meat.
What a combination. Fufu and light soup and goat meat. Perfect. So you like the light soup?
Yeah, but every time I order for food, I must have a bottle of water.
Bottle of water. That's for light soup there. You can't drink it without, having a bottle of water.
So, but the fufu is nice.
It's nice. Is this something in Uganda?
No, it's not there.
People don't eat fufu in Uganda. Not at all. There's nothing that is even made.
There's something similar, but it is made of cassava.
Cassava. What is the name of that? Wugadi. And how is that made? Do you pound it the way we pound?
No. It is flour, then you put in hot water, you mingle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So like the way we make our banku. Have you had banku?
No.
You've never had banku?
I've seen it, but I've not tasted.
So does that the food that you're describing, does it look like the banku that you've seen?
It looks like the fufu.
It looks like the fufu rather. Interesting, but it's not pound the way we do our fufu. Pound, add cassava.
I've not seen that pound. The pound it might be there, but it's not in Uganda.
It's not in Uganda. So fufu was your first time having it was in Ghana.
Yes.
And you enjoyed it, and that's your favorite food.
It is my favorite food. Like any day, anytime I can eat it.
Any day, anytime you can eat fufu and light soup and goat. Hey, interesting. What other food?
Gobe.
Hey, gobe. We recently had our gobe. I saw you at the Gobe festival.
Yes, I had to come.
That's why you came for the Gobe.
Yes, because I like the
You wanted
food.
to eat Gobe?
Yes.
Yeah, applaudissez le Gobe. Wow. How come Gobe is your favorite food?
I like beans.
Okay.
And I like plantain because it's like matoke.
Okay.
Yeah. I like it.
But do they do it the way we do it here in Ghana?
It is not there in my country.
It is not?
It's not there.
Not at all.
Not at all.
So the beans and there's not like bean stew.
The beans taste different.
Okay.
But they're still beans. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't add the palm oil and the gari the way we do it.
Actually, me I prefer it beans and plantain only. I don't like the oil and the curry.
You don't like that, so you only eat the beans and the plantain only. Interesting.
But it's one food I eat almost after like one day.
Hey,
I eat it a lot.
Gobe. So the next Gobe festival will make you the ambassador. Hey. You come from Uganda to go and eat Gobe.
I can come back.
You come back and come.
Yes.
Mommy is going to write your name. She's the chief executive producer for Gobe. That's also her favorite food. She likes it with pepper.
Oh.
And then small gari here, and then palm oil there, and then so then she adds egg. Have you added egg to your Gobe before?
No.
You've not added egg. You haven't added fish.
Fish, normal fish?
Yes, fried fish with gobe and plantain.
No, I eat the normal one they sell, so I didn't know they are.
Oh, as for the gobe, there's categories. Everybody and how they like. Like a yam like this, you can add rice to it, add yam. By the time the gobe is being served, it's a whole buffet. You understand? But do you have wache in Uganda?
No.
You don't eat wache?
No.
So the rice and beans.
Just rice and beans, but they don't put them together.
They don't put them together. So that was also new for you.
Yeah.
Hey. So what do you eat in Uganda?
We eat matoke.
That's all.
We eat matoke. We eat Irish. What you call yam here, it is not yam in Uganda.
It's called what?
It's called balugu.
Eh? Balugu.
Balugu. Yes. That is the yam. That is what you call yam here. But I've seen the other yam. The other yam is called juni.
Eh?
A juni.
Juni.
Yes.
That's what people have in Uganda.
Yeah, that is the yam.
That's the yam people have in Uganda. So
even the other one is there, but it's not really common. You must meet someone who is so much into local food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But on a normal day, you can't find the other yam.
On a normal day, we can't find, yam being sold. It's not. So
not. Oh no! When you say yam, if there's a Ugandan listening, they will think of the other one.
Okay.
So the Juni.
Okay. So when we say
it
Juni,
is there, but I don't know how you call it. Even in this country, I've seen it. It's like white.
Okay.
It is. I think it is in that same. What is it called? Like it's with the other yam, the big one, the yellow one.
Okay.
When you cut, it's yellow.
Yes.
So there's another white one.
Okay.
You know it?
No.
You know I know it.
Confusion, I have. Right now, left, right, center. My own food, I haven't forgotten about left, right, center.
It is almost the same, but this one is short and big.
Short and big.
Yeah. I've seen it in the market.
You've seen it in the market. I'm sure. Maybe Mommy knows. I'm sure. That's why she's a chef. You know, she's a very #1 chef. So everything Mommy can, she knows. Shout out to Mommy can doing the production and listening right now to the show. But then again, what else? So aside the matoke,
sweet potatoes. We have rice.
Okay. Do you produce soup meals? Do you produce stews? Like, do we have, stew, egg stew, corned beef stew? You produce those things? Or?
No, we put the beans to, and usually people like the local food when it is boiled, not fried. You fry a lot.
Inchichos. We are known as inchichos.
What does that mean?
Inchichos is frying.
Oh.
Yeah. You know when you fry, so people don't like frying.
We like the meat locally made. We like.
How do you locally make your meat?
You just put it in water and boil.
Hey, you don't add spice.
You can add the spices, the tomatoes, but boiled.
You don't fry it. You just boil it.
Yeah, some people prefer the local food prepared like that. If it is local food, yeah.
If it's
unless you're doing a snack, you can fry.
But
usually it is locally prepared like that.
It's locally prepared like that. It's the boil for you. And it's the fry for us. We are the fry. So people don't do fried rice.
It is there, but it's not like jollof. It is called pilau.
Pilau. Do you have jollof in Uganda? No.
We have pilau.
You have pilau. How does it look like?
Almost like jollof, but we don't put tomatoes.
Yeah. So how do you do it?
You can fry the onions and the meat. Then you add the rice. It will come. Jollof is a little bit red. This one is brown.
Brown.
Yeah.
It reminds me of you see something when you are making the. Oh, mommy, remind me of this food. You know when you're doing the beef jollof, beef rice, angwamu. That's what I wanted to say. Angwamu. You know angwamu? Have you tried angwamu? You know the way you're talking about the onion, you fry the onion a little bit, then you put the beef. There's this kind of beef, it's salted beef. You know that? You add that one to it, then you add the rice. You do a little stir fry before you put in the water. So when it comes, the beef is mixed in the. That's how your jollof is.
Pilau.
That's how your pilau is. And the angwamu, because we eat it with pepper. We grind pepper. We add it, and then sometimes we fry egg. Some people can add sardine.
What's with eggs? Everything you put egg. Why you put eggs in water? You put eggs in meat. Eggs.
Watch an egg there. You can't eat watch without eating egg.
Even gobe, you put egg.
Yeah, sample is additional protein. People don't eat egg in Uganda.
We eat eggs, but for breakfast. Actually, I was shocked. Someone in the morning will wake up, go and buy a whole meal for breakfast. Why?
A whole meal. Yes. You are breaking the fast. It's a break. You slept and you are awake, so you have to break.
So you go and eat kenke and I don't know.
Kenke. What time did you see the person eating the kenke?
In the morning.
In morning we have from 6 a.m. to 11.
At around 9 a.m.
You see, it was for a purpose. Sometimes we like to gauge the day. That if you're going to do a lot of work, we want to gauge. So we say that, okay, today like this, I have a lot of things to do. But so if I eat the kenke, it will give me stamina for the rest of the day. Or you don't believe in that. So you only eat what? Porridge, tea.
Can't be a porridge, tea. But you find, there is what we call katogo. Katogo is matoke and light. Maybe the chapatis can work. That's where the Rolex comes in. But we have something like kenke. It's called posho.
Posho?
So finding someone eating posho in the morning, really, they are going through a lot in life.
Adi. It's 9 o'clock. We are going through a lot in life. Hey. Why?
Honestly, it was something that.
It was. You say kenke is called what? Poshe.
It is something like that. Almost like kenke, but we prepare it in a different way.
How do you prepare it?
First of all, the flour comes when it is pure, like they remove. We buy the flour.
Okay.
So you again put it in hot water.
Okay.
And you mingle.
Okay.
Then after you serve. But it's white. It is not like brown. Cake is brown, yellowish, something.
It depends on the corn. Usually that is from the corn. They use the corn. So when you go, depending on the type of corn that you have, some will be yellowish in color, some will be whitish in color. It's all dependent on the corn that they use. Yes.
Yeah. So that's how we prepare ours. It is called poshon.
Poshon. So do you have it with fish the way we have ours? We have our kenke with fish and pepper, sometimes with stew. Some even have kenke with okra stew or okra soup, even granite soup, palm nut soup, depending.
Yeah, it depends on what
do you have your posha with that as well? Do you do grind pepper in Uganda?
No.
You don't grind pepper? When Trimako in Uganda, you don't grind the pepper?
This one you mix in the foods?
No. You see, so we have earthenware, asanka, and then we mix the pepper, onion, and tomatoes all in one. We grind it in the nice earthenware, in a nice pot, and then we serve it. Sometimes you slice onions over it, and then you add some tomatoes. Sometimes if you want to be extra, you can open a tin of sardine and then add the oil. You don't do that at all?
No. As we cook the sauce. If it's beans, it's beans. It's fish, it's fish. Like, we don't add a lot to the food. I've seen you eat meat, you eat chicken, you eat goat's meat, all in one bowl.
Yeah. It's called zoo. Studio. The show is Beats Africa. Time check 44 minutes after 4. It means we have just 16 more minutes to wrap up. The show comes every Sunday 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Christa is my guest in the studio. We are talking Uganda. And according to her, they don't do a lot of frying in Uganda. For them, if you want to have a local meal, they do more of the boiling. So they boil their meat more. They don't fry it like the way we do. They don't understand why. She doesn't understand why we need to have a full meal for breakfast. She's thinking that breakfast will just be cocoa, tea, and then some. So at 9 o'clock, when she sees somebody eating pilau, aka kenke, it means the person is going through a lot in life.
I don't know why the corruption is too much. Why the price of electricity too high. Why the price of education is too high.
Well, we've spoken about so many things with regard to the country Uganda. We've explored some of the interesting places you can visit if you go to Uganda. In case you just tuned in and you've just enjoyed the show, you're wondering, how do I make myself available or how do I go to Uganda? Well, it is visa free for Ghanaians. You can visit them for a duration of 90 days. All you need to have is a valid 6 months a date of entry into Uganda with 2 blank pages, of course, for them to put in the entry on arrival and departure stamps. The The Ugandan shilling is their currency. And we did some conversion here in the studio. 200 Ghana cedis is equivalent to 60,000 Ugandan shillings. And we did understand that the 50,000 Ugandan shilling note is the highest in the country.
3FM 92.7 Urban Lifestyle Radio Station.
And Kampala is the capital of Uganda.
Don't you try to politicize. Don't think me I try to criticize. No, sensitize me I sensitize. I mean no say my people must realize the most important things. To live at the begins in your mindset. To free get up people they must educate. Education expensive to get. It's like you say we carry water in a basket. I don't know.
We did also get to understand that there are over 56 tribes, ethnic tribes in Uganda. Over 30 indigenous languages are spoken. Some of the tribes in Uganda include Langi, if I'm right, Lendu, if I'm right, Luo, and then there's Madi. And then there's is MVUBA. How do you pronounce that? MVUBA. Is it Muva? VUBA? Muva. Interesting. Are there some consonants that are silent, in Uganda? So, for instance, if you depend on which language you're speaking, if maybe there's K and T, maybe you don't pronounce the K or you don't pronounce the T. Do you have those exceptions in your languages?
Yeah, in Uganda it's there.
Okay.
For example, if you're pronouncing...
Come closer to your mic.
All right. Or if you're pronouncing the word... Awenganda. Okay. So
you have mentioned, what does it mean? Nga.
Awenganda is like brotherhood.
Okay.
That's nice. It's even hard to write.
It's even hard to write. But you have the nga in there. Okay, interesting. So when it comes to, have you seen any similarities between you, let's say your tribe and any of the tribes here in Ghana? Like, do you see a little bit of resemblance in maybe the Akan, the Ga, the Ewe? Do you see a little bit of resemblance?
I think with my tribe, it's with the Ashanti.
The Ashanti. What makes you see that resemblance?
Because of how they behave.
Okay. How do they behave?
Ashantis. They're proud.
Okay.
They're proud. And I feel like it is also the largest ethnic group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, it's the same thing with Uganda.
It's the same thing with Uganda. That's how you people are. Interesting. So let's talk about your favorite music. We've been playing music from Uganda since the show began. Did it surprise you in any way?
The music?
Yes.
No.
It didn't surprise you? Not at all. Do you hear them? Is it common to hear them in Ghana?
No,
music from Uganda?
No. It's only the other song, Party After Party.
It's only Party After Party. For a long time, most people didn't know that Party After Party was actually Ugandan music. So thank you for bringing that to our understanding this afternoon. But then I also want to find out from you, what is your favorite music? Who's your favorite, musician, artist?
I like Spice Diana.
Okay.
I like Spice Diana. I like, I'm a feminist.
Hey, I didn't know. You're not telling me.
I'm supporting my fellow women. So.
Okay.
But naturally, I love music.
Okay.
So anything music, I will listen to it. But what hurts me most is in this country, they don't play Ugandan music. Yet in my country, Charlie, we know all these songs.
You play all the Ghanaian music?
Yes.
In Uganda?
Know. Yes.
Not Nigerian music, Ghanaian music.
Yes, there's this girl. What is? I don't know. They call her Jackie.
Jackie, yes. Jackie is in Uganda.
Yes.
You play her music in Uganda?
Yes.
Wow. What about Efia?
That one I don't know.
Hey.
Maybe I listen to the song.
You maybe listen to the song. Okay. Then Black Sherif.
Yes.
You play Black Sherif in Uganda. Shatawale. Kiddy.
Yes.
Kwame Eugene.
Yes, the whole
Stone
night
Boy.
is for you guys, but us, you don't tell us why.
You said, no, you're not telling me. After party after party, we were playing it. We just didn't know that it was from Uganda. So DJ Abiam is going to play one of your favorite songs for you, and then we talk about the music side, because I'm very interested now that you've come to raise the concern that you people do publicize our music a lot in Uganda. Just say you knew all the songs,
I know all the Nigerian and Ghanaian songs. Not all, but most of them.
Most of them.
Those hit songs, I know.
Those hit songs in Ghana, you know them. Interesting. Let's listen to your favorite song, then we'll continue the conversation. That is one of your favorite songs that we just played.
Yes.
And what's the name of the artist?
Joshua Baraka.
Joshua Baraka. Before then, there was a lady that sang. Is that the Spice lady?
Spice Dad.
Okay, so she was singing in, I believe, in one of your local languages. What was the language?
Luganda.
What was the whole song about? Because I was dancing to it, all right, but I didn't understand.
That's me. I'm not a regular girl.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. She's not like
you have your other girls, but me, I'm not
regular. Okay, so like you're extraordinary, you're special, you're different from the lot and all that. Quite interesting. So how do you think that, how do you want Ugandan music to be, infused in the Ghanaian culture?
Let the DJs play the songs. We have some nice music, like this song that is playing.
Yeah, DJ Abiam does a very good job.
That song is nice. Anyone can understand what the guy is saying and what he's trying to sing. So let them play the songs like the way we play the songs.
Okay. Interesting. So you're here. How long do you intend to stay in Ghana for?
1 year.
1 year, and you're just 3 months in the system. And obviously, you're very comfortable with the system. What would be your expectations as the days and the weeks go by? What are you hoping to pick? What are you hoping to learn more?
Regarding work, I like how you do work.
Okay.
Like you start from 9 a.m.
So it depends. Some starts from 8 a.m. as well.
Up to 4.
So 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. depending. It all depends on the institution that you're in. So some can do 9 to 4. Some can do 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So it all depends on the institution that you're in.
Okay. So where I like how they do their things in Uganda. We really wake up early to go and work, and we close the day late.
Okay.
So my expectation is, to connect with people. I'm very outgoing, so I expect to connect with more people, and I love how people treat people. Even if you're stuck, like someone will leave what they're doing and they come and show go this side.
Yeah. You like that?
I love that about it.
You like that about us. Interesting. So you be telling people that Ghana is not a province in Nigeria. And that Ghana is a country.
I've told them Ghana is a country
with nice people.
Yes.
Nice people like myself.
Yes.
Great. And of course DJ Abiam. But it's been an amazing time. Today we've been exploring Uganda, of course.
You ask one. See them girl beauty them.
Christa Nalumu has been my guest for today. We've been talking about the beautiful country Uganda. I hope you learned a lot. Well, I did from the beginning how to say welcome and thank you, but it looks like at the end of it all, it has been consumed by not eating egg. I want to say a very big thank you to all our listeners, of course, for you tuning in to Beats Africa. To all of you that followed us on Facebook Live, thank you so much for the conversations that we've been having, in the comment section. I've been reading some of your comments, your questions, and some of you have actually experienced, Uganda. Elinam, thank you so much for sharing some of your experiences with us. Yeah, one of her comments that stood out for me was the fact that I said with 250,000 Ugandan shillings, she was able to get more than the equivalent in Ghana city. She was able to get sheep, goat. What else? She got 4 turkeys and other things. Interesting. I want to say a very big thank you, of course, to DJ Abiama, HDJ, always on the ones and twos. To my producer, Mame Khan, thank you so much. And of course, to my technical team, making sure that we are live on Facebook as always. So don't forget to stay tuned to Beats Africa every Sunday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Let's explore more African countries on this show together. Let's learn, a lot about them. So maybe today's conversation has excited you to want to take a trip to Uganda. I know for sure that I'll be taking a trip, very soon, very, very soon to Uganda. It won't be a solo trip, but I'll take a trip to Uganda and we will definitely explore the place. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Dela Michel. See you same time next week, Sunday, right here on 3FM 92.7. Until then, please do enjoy the show. And of course, do not leave the dial.